Welcome back to Coach's Corner. This will be our second episode. I'm your host, Alec Surber.
And I'm your co-host, David Isesele.
And this Coach of the Week is Coach Enright.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. This is different, unique, little special set we got going here for 2024, but thanks for having me for the first one.
Well, compared to our season last year, obviously last year we went to state and had a really good year. How do you think this season's going to look?
We talked a lot about last season and with the current team. I think the main thing that those players understand from our work this summer and all offseason with Coach Lane is that we're not just going to snap our fingers and get back. Like, it's special to get there, but all the work that it takes to get there and all the leadership and all the details behind getting there, we'd all like to just fast forward to Thanksgiving weekend and be right back in that spot with a second chance. But you have to do all the little things, and you have to practice hard, and you have to be a good teammate, and you have to get your grades. And there's just a lot of details that if we just focus on the now and the present, be present in the moment, and make sure that we're doing things that take care of the process and not the result, then I think we'll get to where we need to be eventually. But we don't want to put the cart before the horse. We got to stay present in the moment for sure.
You talked about the players and the teammates. What are some of the biggest strengths that the football team has?
I think one of the biggest strengths is when you play 14 weeks in a season and you play all the way through Thanksgiving, your whole team that was on that roster that returns has 4 or 5 more weeks more than most high school football teams. So you get more game experience, but also more leadership. We were a fairly young team. Our senior leaders last year we're going to miss dearly, Albert and Javian especially, 2 captains that brought a lot to the table. But our young guys, our juniors and sophomores from last year, learned a lot from them and got to experience the highs and the lows with those guys. So I really feel like we have more leadership now because of that, because of going deep into the playoffs and having some great senior leaders that left us. We've had the ability to grow in our leadership, and we have more guys at more positions that take ownership in the team to where it's not just coaches that are preaching those things. It's players as well. And so really feel like our leadership is one thing that has grown. Not that our leadership was bad last year, but I feel like we have more leaders this year, which is a great thing.
Speaking on going back to Thanksgiving weekend, what are some hidden challenges most people won't be able to see on the football team?
Some hidden challenges. One challenge that is sort of out of our control always is injuries. You try to put yourself in a position in the weight room with Coach Lane, and that's why we train with him twice as many times as we practice on the field in the off season, is to get your body ready to go so that you can try your best to prevent injuries. It's God's plan, at that point. So you have to get lucky to get through a season injury-free. But I think that challenge as a coach, you try to look at how can you meet that challenge. Well, you try to build depth, and you try to have your number 23 through 44 players that are ready to step in. A good team that has 11 starters on offense and 11 on defense, and they got 22 good players. A great team has 23 through 44 who can step in at any time and be ready to go. So I think our depth this year may be able to overcome any challenges that we have at injury. But again, there are other many challenges that are involved with certain things. The ball bounces funny ways in football, and we play a lot of good football teams. So we know that it's not just we're not just gonna roll the ball out there and win 49-0 every week. We have to do things right, do things the right way, and sometimes when you do that, the football gods shine on you. So we're hoping for that this year, and building depth is the main thing to overcome those challenges.
I know we just lost our defensive coordinator, Max Gooden, and with our new defensive coordinator, how do you feel about our new defense?
I love it. I don't love that we lost Coach Gooden. He was my assistant head coach and right-hand man, and it's sort of a badge of honor a little bit that he worked for us, and he's a big part of Decatur Central football, and now he gets an opportunity to go be a head coach. I think we're all here rooting for him. Just a great guy. not only on the football field as a coach, but as a person. He had so many relationships with these kids. So very difficult to lose Coach Gooden. But, kind of searching in the offseason for someone to replace him. Had a few good candidates that I've worked with in the past and heard a lot of good things about. And Brandon Winter's name kept coming up in those circles, and really built a relationship with him in the offseason. And he has been a head coach for 7 years, so he's got that experience of leading a group. He's been a high-level defensive coordinator, and I really feel like he's come over and put a plan together with a great defensive staff, as Coach Staten is now the assistant head coach and longtime defensive line coach, along with Coach Kennett coming over to help in the secondary with Coach Whitfield. And then Coach Absalon moved over to the defensive line as well. And then the two stalwarts at linebacker, Coach Griff and Coach Evans, are back. So, man, 7 defensive coaches that are all unique, but all work extremely hard and bleed blue and gold. So couldn't be happier with Coach Winters coming over from Beech Grove, Coach Kennett coming over from Indian Creek, 2 new guys that are kind of intermixed with some guys that have been here before and bleed blue and gold. So our kids are playing hard. We have some strengths on this team in speed. And so we're trying to get speed on the field, and we have 5 or 6 guys that are returning starters that played in the past. So we're going to lean heavily on Michael Campbell and Bonawit and Bryson and Kaz Hicks and those guys, and along with some newcomers that are going to see the defensive field for the first time, including you, Al. Kind of transitioning from being a one-way player to a two-way player. I think that's pretty cool. How do you feel? How does your body feel about playing both ways and playing offense and defense?
Honestly, I played it my whole life, and just getting back to it's exciting. Like, I'm excited to take that next step to help out our team, and it's just great. Yeah,
no doubt. I mean, I feel like we're a unique team in 5A football that has a lot of guys that play 2 ways. Not a lot of teams do that, but I think that's a good thing. We don't pigeonhole guys from the time they're a freshman and sophomore and say, you're this position. We allow them to play a lot of different positions if they can, if their talent says that they can. So having Caden Cole and Tyler Cooper and you on the defensive line and having Rel and Kaz playing both offense and defense. And, Dodo, when he started before last year, he was going to penciled in to be the safety, and because we allowed him to play 2 ways, he grew into our running back. So you never know, but I really like our versatility on defense. A lot of guys that can play a lot of different places, and that's going to help us down the road. So really excited about the defense and Coach Winters and all those things.
Today we have
Pharrell Carter.
What are some things that we should know about you?
I'm class of 2026. I play for the football team, and I play wide receiver and defensive back.
How do you think the football team will be this year?
I think this year we'll be successful because, coming off that state championship loss from last year, I think we put it behind us and everybody's moved on and just looking forward to this year. So I think we're going to have a good season.
Do you think we will be successful this year?
Yes, I think we'll be successful. I think we're going to have a pretty good season considering how we all bonded over the summer and how we all came together. So I think it's going to be good.
Well, now to the fun questions. Would you rather play offensive line or defensive line?
I would rather play defensive line because I feel like offensive line is just way less fun than getting to tackle somebody.
What is your favorite football movie?
My favorite football movie is probably Friday Night Lights.
That's a show. Would you like to be in that show, though?
Nah, I've only watched it a few times, so nah, I wouldn't want to be in there.
What's your favorite position besides wide receiver and DB?
My favorite position on the field, other than the positions I play, would probably be running back. So, yeah.
And do you have any pets?
No, I don't have any pets, but I like going over Alec's house to play with his cat. So.
Would you want a pet?
Yeah, I want a monkey.
A monkey. That's nice.
Very unusual. Thank you, Pharrell Carter. And now back to our interview with Coach Enright. Speaking on different changes What are some different things from from last year that you're going to implement this year?
Some different things that we're going to implement. I think one thing that we just started implementing, led by Justin Dixon, our new district athletic director, is our Wellness Wednesday program, mental health. Just trying to incorporate, a lot of times athletics and athletes fall into this trap of feeling like they're soft, so to speak, if they talk about their emotions or feelings or problems that they may have, and we want to kick that stigma, so to speak, and so we're starting Wellness Wednesdays, at least with the football program, where we've got position coaches there for our kids to go talk to after practice and just check in, just a weekly check-in to see how you're doing. Do you need anything? How's it going at home? Are you stressed? Do you need help with academics? Do you have issue with the relationship? Just to be there. And I think our kids understand the importance of mental health, and that at the end of the day, it's something that everyone goes through, and you just need someone there to speak to at times. So really like that we're implementing that program, led by Coach Dixon and our coaching staff. I think for the first Wellness Wednesday last week did a great job interacting with our kids and just trying to build those relationships. So.
Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you to Coach Enright for also joining us. We'll see you next time.